everyone, I welcome you all on the YouTube channel of ANALYST IAS. Our today's topic for focus of the day discussion is the POSCO Act. We will see why in news, what is POSCO Act, what are the salient features of the Act. Then we will see some concerns and issues related to the Act. Then we will see some other relative measures for child protection in India. After that, we will see some constitutional provisions which we have. Then we will come to our prelims practice question and the mains practice question of today's session. So we'll start with the topic why news. The Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act of 2012, enacted in response to India's ratification to the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child in 1992, went into effect on November 14, 2012, and it has been a decade. The POSCO Act. The Union Ministry of Women and Child Development led the introduction of the POSCO Act in 2012. Try to remember the name of the ministry. The act was designated to protect children from sexual assault, sexual harassment and pornography offences, as well as to provide for establishment of special courts for trial of such offences. The act was amended in 2019 for enhancing the punishments for specific offences in order to deter abusers and ensure a dignified childhood. What are the salient features of the same act? Basically, it is gender neutral law. The POSCO Act establishes a gender neutral tone for the legal framework available to child sexual abuse victims by defining a child as any person under the age of 18. Then there is no time for reporting the abuse. A victim may report an offence at any time, even after years the abuse has occurred. Then there is mandatory reporting. The act also makes it a legal obligation for anyone who is aware of the offence to report the sexual abuse. If he or she fails to do so, the person may face 6 months in prison or fine. Then it also gives safeguard to the victims. The act, in addition to providing punishment for sexual offences against children, gave certain safeguards to make children's interaction with the criminal justice system child friendly. What are the concerns related to this act? According to a recent survey, 1 in every 2 child is a victim of sexual abuse in India. Furthermore, in the vast majority of the cases, the perpetrators are known to be the victim, causing the victim to be hesitant to approach authorities for redress. He can be a neighbor or a relative or anyone. Incidents of child abuse have also risen exponentially since the COVID-19 pandemic with the emergence of new forms of cybercrime. There is now sufficient public awareness to report cases of child sexual exploitation not only by individuals but also by institutions, as non-reporting has been made a specific offence under the POSCO Act. This has made it more difficult to conceal offences against children. Then, storage of child pornography material has been designated as a new crime. Furthermore, unlike an abstraction definition of outraging the modesty of a woman in the IPC, the offence of sexual assault has been defined in explicit terms. Moreover, with the help of this act, many tribal boys are sent to jails as they don't know about the legal age. Now we will see some relative measures. The Child Abuse Prevention and Investigation Unit. Then there is Beti Bachao Beti Padhao Abhiyan. Then there are Juvenile Justice Act Care and Protection Act of 2000. Then there is Child Marriage Prohibition Act of 2006 and the Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Act of 2016. What are the constitutional provisions? So the Constitution guarantees to every child the right to live with dignity, the right to personal liberty, the right to privacy, right to equality under Article 24, the right against discrimination, Article 15, the right against exploitation, which comes under the Article 23 and 24. Then the directive principles of the state policy, and in particular Article 39F cast an obligation on the state to ensure that the children are given opportunities and facilities to develop in a healthy manner and in conditions of freedom and dignity, and that childhood and youth are protected against exploitation and against moral and material abandonment. Then we will come to our today's prelims practice question. With reference to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Child, consider the following statements. This question came in the year of 2010. First, the right to development, the right to expression, the right to recreation. You can choose the option from these given below and type it in the comment section. There we will let you know if it's correct or not. Now we will come to our today's mains practice question. To put an end to child sexual abuse, the scope of POSCO Act must be enhanced and not narrowed. Critically comment in the light of recent judicial rulings on the POSCO Act. This was all about today's topic. Have a great day. Stay tuned for the next video.